Hey, Archer Monologues, P. McClung. Did you expect someone else? All right, let's get right into it. I want to talk about several things today. Okay, here we go. Professor, school student who blames late work on the election of the most evil, hateful man ever. I kid you not. The kid writes, I'm assuming, I don't know, is this a college student or a elementary student or something? I don't get it. I don't know how old a person is, but acting like a 2-year-old, I'm saying. All right? So the student says, "Hi, I just wanted to let you know why I haven't posted yet this week. Apparently, the homework is done on the computer online, and you post your writing or your report on the internet somewhere, wherever they do that, and then apparently the teacher reads it on the internet and where you posted it, and it gives you a grade, I guess, something like that, and other students can kind of make a response to it." It's interesting. I mean, like, what is it? What is school now done like, Facebook? I mean, is Facebook the new educational system? Okay, fine. Well, it works for me, I guess. I mean, I kind of think that'd be kind of cool. I think I'd probably give you like an incentive to do it because you know how you love your computers and stuff. All right. And he goes on to say, the election of the most evil, hateful person to ever run for president has me very upset, and I need time to process it all and get centered so I can figure out how I'm going to get through this. I just can't even right now. This is so hard. I really need another week to start the healing process, I'll post next week, and I'd appreciate not getting points docked because of the circumstances that are beyond my control. Okay, all right? If this is a college student, God forbid. Well, the gods. That's a small g. So, I'm just... What? Are you fucking kidding me? And it is a Colorado Student University professor. College student. Unbelievable. The professor sends the student an excerpt from the late work policy. I'm not going to read it, but it's just, hey, you got till midnight, dude. Or you're going to be docked points. I'm thinking, that's the equivalent of saying, you're going to get an F, sucker. Yeah, you got till midnight. I'm just... God, it makes my brain hurt. What the hell? Seriously. It's making my brain hurt. Well, the response by the professor is, some yada, yada, yada stuff, which is, cool. I'm not going to read it, but, it's sort of like you're going to have a big problem when you're, like, really grown up and out in the workforce and, real life. Like, you're going to, have a traumatic breakdown, when the boss says, your job is to do this job, and your job description was well known to you when you got the job, and I explained it to you, or at least, it was given to you in some sort of manual or some kind of information that here's your job, and you will do this job, and I'm sorry, but, in spite of whatever freaking thing is going on, in your private life, at home, when you're not working, but when you're working, which is like, whatever the hours of your working are designated to be, you've got till close of work today to, the end of the workday. You've got till the end of the workday to get this project that I'm being the boss, gave you a job to do, and you'll get it done by 5 o'clock today, or you're fucking fired, ass wipe, dickhead, wimp, pussy, idiot. Will somebody tell me how I ever hired this moron? Huh? How did he get on my fucking payroll? This fucking pussy twit. Why is he working for me? I wonder. How did he get to be I didn't hire him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure I'd even give him till midnight on Sunday night to get the assignment done. You know what I'm saying? It's traumatic for me to read this stuff. God, I just, like I said, my brain is melting from these morons. Did I just hear the other day that Harvard actually gave people the day off or something because the students of Harvard were so traumatized by the election of Donald Trump that, oh God, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's a figure of speech. I don't believe in God, and I'm certainly not a follower of Jesus Christ. So I'm not one of those wimps. Well, no, I wouldn't say wimps. I'd say lame brain individuals that believe in that God thing. Because this is the 21st century. You're supposed to be like, maybe try to be at least a little bit smarter than a rock. I'm a college student, and I'm traumatized by the election of Donald Trump to be the president of the United States because he's evil. I wonder how many people I did hear the fact. I did hear about some idiots murdering themselves. I mean, committing suicide because Donald Trump got elected president. God. Well, there's a few more less idiots in the world to worry about. I killed myself. Why'd you do it? Because Donald Trump got elected president. Oh, really? Okay. Well, let's just say dumb, and then there's dumber. Or as I occasionally say, what is it I usually say in this case? I don't know. I'm so traumatized by this student that was traumatized. I'm almost speechless. I said almost. Not completely. Would someone just beat me in the head with a stick? No. Why me? Why should I be beaten in the head with a stick? I'm not stupid. I'm not a freaking idiot. I can't come to work today, boss, because I'm traumatized. I'm just so upset about this guy, winning the election, which we pretty much expected. Duh. Oh, I know, we didn't really expect it, did we? Yeah, we did. If you've been paying attention. All right. the professor says, we're raising a generation of crybabies who can't handle life. And if they don't get it together, I'm very worried for the future of this country. Guess what? There's no if. You should be worried. You should be worried now. You should have been worried yesterday, because it's coming. It's coming. I'm guessing all these stupid people are like, oh, I'm traumatized. I'm just wondering, what if Hillary had won? Would we be experiencing people across this country being traumatized and say, oh, I can't do my homework, I can't go to school, I can't go to work, I'm traumatized because that cunt, puke, ass biscuit, piece of shit, traitor, murdering bitch is elected president. Oh God, I'm so traumatized. To be honest with you, I probably would have been traumatized because then not because she was actually going to be president, because but the fact that 50 million people said, hey, I'm voting for the freaking criminal. I voted for Hillary, the known felon. I don't know about that. Known felon, whereas Donald Trump is just maybe an asshole or a jerk or something. Well, I wasn't traumatized when Obama won the election twice. I wasn't traumatized when George Bush was elected twice. Actually, maybe just a little. But I still got up and did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I went to work, did my job, took care of business, and probably, if I don't remember exactly the day that George W. Bush was elected the first time, or even the second time for that matter, and I was around, and I was a grown-up, but I don't remember the exact day when I realized he won the election. Really? Speaking of pure evil, I mean, George W. Bush is, should I just say it, George-bushler, Nazi fascist bastard. I was kind of traumatized, actually, because I thought Al Gore was going to win this. I mean, he did, right? Oh, Jeb Bush, Florida, Chads, hanging Chads. Like, yeah, that kind of traumatized me a little. Yeah, but I still, got out of bed, put on my clothes. Well, I assume I put on my clothes because it was like in November, so it was probably like chilly. I probably wouldn't have run around naked in November. July maybe, yes, but not. Anyway, I did my job. I went to work. I took care of business. And if I don't remember the exact day, but I probably found time at some point during the day or following days to, grab a hold of my dick and yank it a little. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. Big deal. Life goes on. Now, I realize, just put it this way, if Donald Trump was actually like the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler, I'm not so sure he isn't, to be honest with you. But traumatized to the point you can't function as a human being. It's just boggles the mind. Really. I'm rather subdued today because I can't really think of. I'm speechless. I'm yabbering on, but I'm doing the best. Because even though I'm traumatized by these students who are traumatized and stuff, even though I'm traumatized by the fact that there are a lot of people that are like traumatized, contrary to what they do, what they're doing, I'm actually got up this morning, and actually the day after Trump won the election, and apparently he did, because he got a lot of votes, and the college people, electoral college, I think, what was it, 300 and some, 200 and some, I mean, he won, all right? Now, I hope it doesn't come out that eventually we learn that once he's in office and he says stuff and does stuff in office as the acting president, I'm hoping that it doesn't turn out that he's the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler or the devil's spawn or anything like that. God, come on. Just look at it this way. Has Donald Trump ever been convicted of a felony? No. Not to my knowledge. I mean, all of this stuff has been on the internet. I mean, it's not like we don't have information about the guy. And I'm sure if he was ever convicted of a felony, for whatever the crime might have been, I'm quite sure we have heard about it before the election. And since we didn't, well, at least I didn't, I'm guessing he wasn't ever actually convicted of a felony. But let's look at Hillary, shall we? Ooh, talk about traumatized. I gotta look at, I was kind of hoping after she lost the election she would just disappear. Her and her freaking husband would just freaking disappear off the earth, like as if, like in committed suicide. I mean, even she was traumatized, apparently, from what I heard. Like crying uncontrollably and for hours after the election. Oh, isn't that just special? Yeah. Hillary crying? All right. Because she lost? I got one for you. Hillary should be crying because she's been exposed as being a traitor, a liar, a mass murderer, a person guilty of crimes against humanity. Duh. And this is not even speculation. I'm not making... Oh, this is a freaking telephone. All right, hold on. That was me mummy. Checking up on me. Which gives me an opportunity to check up on her. Meaning that, she's doing all right. She called me. And my mother is 90 years old. Still drives. Takes care of herself. Does what she has to do. But at 90 years of age, just imagine that. That's getting up there. Bless her heart. Now, where was I before the phone rang? Talking about these kids today. Students. University. I'm talking university students. Complaining, whining. Oh, I've been traumatized. If they think Donald Trump being elected president was traumatizing, wait till next year. And for all those people who say, if Donald Trump is elected, I'm leaving the country. Okay, excuse me, but why? Do you think it, like, what are you? This is not like Germany in 1933, and you're like, if Adolf Hitler is elected to chancellor or whatever he is, I'm leaving Germany. Well, if you're Jewish, probably a good idea. In those days, back then. Today, I actually think, I believe, and maybe I have good reason, justification for believing it, but I think if Adolf Hitler actually ran for president of the United States of America, there would be a lot of people voting for him. Even knowing full well what kind of a bastard he is. Now, I'm not comparing Trump to Hitler, but I might compare Hillary Clinton to Hitler. Which Hitler is worse? Which Hitler is worse? But, you know, Hillary, known felon. Known. Absolutely known. The evidence is there. It's just, we know what she did. We may not know everything she did, but we know for a fact that she did stuff. Because, for one, she was Secretary of State. And she made announcements. She did... She talked. She said stuff, and she said, and then there's, Osama bin-Ladin, and excuse me. As far as I'm concerned, legally speaking, you committed a crime because you participated in the invasion of a foreign country, Pakistan, sovereign country, and violated international law, which states if you invaded a foreign country for whatever reason, you're guilty of invading a foreign country without a reason. When I say reason, I mean like a valid reason, well, what's not a valid reason is to take a helicopter or a couple of helicopters full of Marine Special Op guys, assassins, hired assassins, by the way, to go into a foreign country like Pakistan and then, I'm sorry, you committed a crime there. And that's a crime against humanity, because you went there and killed a person in another country. You just shot him in the face. I'm not saying that Osama bin Laden was actually there and that he actually got shot in the face, because there's some question about that, since I never saw any evidence or a body. And if the government says, "Oh yeah, it was," well, excuse me, if the government says it, it's probably a lie. Because they lie a lot, all the time, every day. One of those lies is, I'm liable for the income tax. Because I'm not. And the law says, no, you're not. Because the law says, the income tax applies to corporations, and I'm not a corporation. Going to put another plug in for Dave Champion's book. Here it comes. Income Tax, Shattering the Myths. Dave Champion. Get the damn book. Read it. You'll know something. You don't know it now, probably. More than likely you don't. But if you do, then read the book anyway. It'll help bolster your self-confidence and your status as an intelligent human being and a learned human being. All right, get the book, get the book, get the book. That's all I got to say. Just get the damn book. It might cost you $50, but hey, get the damn book. Seriously, if you're seriously concerned about America and freedom, if you're truly concerned about the crimes against humanity that the United States government is committing, you have to study. You have to do the research. You have to be aware. You have to be conscious. You have to have your eyes open and listen to the information. And say, ooh, that's not good. And then say, that's a lie. Stuff like that. Like, for example, if you're paying an income tax and, I don't like paying tax, I don't know, taxpayer money being used to kill innocent people in foreign countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, because, whoever they murdered in Pakistan, who I'm talking about, the Special Ops Forces hired hitmen, assassins hired by the U.S. government, and Hillary was one of those people in charge of that, so she's guilty. Because if you go to a foreign country and you shoot a man in the face in his house, in his own house, I'm sorry, that's a crime. That's not even debatably a crime. That is a factual crime. And since they confessed to doing it, they're guilty by just, you don't even have to have a trial. Obama. We got Osama bin Laden. And the details of that come out and say, some assassins, hired hitmen from the United States government, went into a foreign country, Pakistan, and broke into a guy's house in the middle of the night and shot him in the face. Murdered him. Cold blood. Now, I don't know who he was. He may or may not have been Osama bin Laden. Because I have no evidence to prove that it was. So, sorry. You got to have evidence. And that means you got to have a body. And somebody who knows Osama bin Laden would have to say, yep, that's him. But nobody did. I mean, not really. What I'm saying is, the United States government, of which Hillary Clinton was a part of as a Secretary of State, participated in, knew ahead of time, that's premeditated murder, because she knew that the special ops people were going to a foreign country violating the law, so she basically confessed to committing all kinds of crimes. One, invading a foreign country with malicious intent. Like a tourist doesn't count. I'm a tourist. Me and like 40 people on the bus went down and went to Pakistan to look around and be a tourist, take pictures of landmarks and stuff. But you had some guns, you had some guys, you had some bastards that, seriously, murdering bastards, duh. And you said, hey, I'm on board with that. Let's send him over there and shoot some guy in the face. That's a confession. See, when you have a confession, technically, legally speaking, in the world of public opinion at least, you don't have to have a trial. Okay? Now, let me point out this to you. A little fact. Fact. Osama bin Laden never confessed to having anything to do with 9/11. In fact, I'm pretty sure he said, nope, I didn't do it. That's like saying, I plead not guilty. And if I'm arrested and they put me on trial for causing 9/11 or whatever, then I would say, not guilty, because I didn't do it. And if you think I did, then you have to prove that I did with some evidence. And you can't just say, I'm George Bush and I said he did. And no, George Bush doesn't have the authority to, just say, he's guilty because I said so. You can't do that. That's not the way it works. However, when George Bush said, I'm going to bomb the hell out of Iraq and murder about 1 million people, that's a confession. You have to understand the process here. If you got a legal system and you violate the legal system by go around the legal system or ignore the legal system or just totally disregard it and say, I don't give a shit what the law says, I'm going to go murder somebody and shoot them in the face. Or send somebody to do it for me, which is like hiring a hitman, which is a felony. So I'm thinking Obama and Hillary, there you go. Proven beyond a doubt, no question, because they confessed publicly. They're therefore guilty of felony murder. An invasion of a foreign country, which is against the law, blah, blah, blah. So the point is, Hillary is a known felon. And Obama too, for that matter. So the only trial they need is, the formality of saying, you confess to the crime of murder, you're guilty as charged because you said you were guilty. You didn't say, I'm guilty. You just said, I did the crime, which is the same as saying, I'm guilty. So Hillary said, yep, I'm partly responsible for that. I actually probably even organized this thing to happen. actually ordered people to go, all right, you guys, Marines, special ops guys, you bastards, you're assassins, I'm hiring you, I'm appointing you, say, here's the mission. Go to a foreign country, break some laws, murder a man in his bedroom, dump his body in the ocean so there's no evidence that there's a body at all, because no evidence, no body, no evidence, right? But you admitted that you dumped it in the ocean, so I'm guessing, yeah, that's a confession of a guilty thing. You just said, yep, killed some guy in Pakistan, which is a crime, and I went to Pakistan, which is a crime, and we dumped his body in the ocean to cover up our crime. A crime. That's like tampering with evidence, isn't it? That's like, getting rid of the evidence. That's like intentionally committing a crime to cover up a crime, which you confess to in public. So I'm saying, there's not a stretch here. There's no stretch at all. It's just, you confessed. You're guilty. All we need now is for the judge and the jury to say, don't even need a jury because I confessed. The man said, guilty, I did that. So the judge says, well, you said you're guilty. You're taking full responsibility for your crimes. So the penalty, the punishment, the sentence is, death. Hang him high, Guilty is charged, confession accepted, you're guilty, universally known and everybody knows in the friggin' world that you confessed to committing crime, murdering that guy in Pakistan. So, I sentence you to death. May some imaginary God in the sky forgive you. You understand? Now, see, this is why my show is important. Because I just told you something that you should already know. So don't get mad at me for telling you the truth. Because if you don't know the truth already, you're just not paying attention. Maybe I should just say, if you don't want to acknowledge the fact that, let's say, Hillary and Obama committed crimes against humanity, if you don't want to admit that, when evidence says so, you're delusional. You're in denial. You're mentally ill. Now, you're listening to this, and maybe you're like, you understand what I'm saying, and you understand English, which is what I speak. Then I'm guessing, I'm not talking about you, because you're like, hey, smarter than the average bear. But no, let's protest Donald Trump because he never confessed to a crime, and there's never been any trial, and there's never been any confession, there's never been any evidence presented. There's a lot of accusations, but I don't mean shit in a court of law. So why would you just, pass judgment on somebody that when you don't have any evidence to base that on? It's like, I know you did it, but you don't know. So that makes you an idiot. People get on me about saying things like that, calling people idiots and morons and stuff. Guess what? The word means what it means, and an imbecile is an imbecile. That's like a very low IQ, something like maybe 12. These are clinical terms, and I'm not politically correct, so I don't have to follow that bullshit system. Guilty. And I suggest the penalty for such guilt is, like Bush, guilty of murdering like over 1 million people in Iraq, and I'm guessing without just cause. There's no reason why the government, for one thing, George Bush said, hey, go over there, bomb the hell out of those people, murder a bunch of people. Because, I want to. I want you to do that, do it, because I'm like God here in America. Most powerful man on the earth. Duh. So, sorry, George. that you're guilty of crimes against humanity, murder, mass murder, million people, at least. You're guilty. Sentence, some official should say, since you confessed and you're guilty as hell, then, hey, may God have mercy on your soul, so to speak, and take him out and hang him. Unless he prefers a firing squad or something, I don't give a shit how you do it. Just make this man disappear off the planet, because he's like scum. He's like evil. I mean, God, like the devil incarnate. And I sort of feel sorry for his family, like his mother. Well, not really the mother, because she's an idiot too, but I kind of feel sorry for his children, George Bush's children, because he's my dad and I love him and he's such a great guy, and like, you're a fucking idiot. You raised morons, George. Your children are brain damaged, fucking retarded. I mean, it's not like the medieval ages, where the father was like, I'm the king and my children are being disrespectful, and so off with their heads. I don't think George Bush would have murdered his own children. So I feel sorry for them that they have to actually live with the stigma of having a father who is like next to freaking Hitler. Disgusting scum of the earth. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. But, hey, truth is truth. It is what it is. Just like words mean what they mean. So if you don't get it, you take your head out of your ass and kickstart your fucking brain. I'm going to have to start doing some shows that are like, like cool, calm, collected, logical, rational, and just state the case. Like, so that the people will like not be freaked out when they hear me say, fuck, that man's a bastard. I'll do it. I'll get to it. In the meantime, I'm having some fun in my misery, telling you the truth. I'm not talking about like Bible truth, because that's like not true. Shit. I'm not talking about truth according to the government, because that's not true. I'm not even expressing an opinion. Well, sometimes, but usually not, because an opinion, I know what an opinion is. An opinion is something like a thought or an expression based on my personal preferences and biases. I'm not biased. Really? Not really. Well, sometimes. An opinion is biased, but when I just state a fact, it's just a fact. It's just, I'm stating a statement, making a statement. It's true. It's like proven true. It's like all the evidence, proof is, like, duh. Like, how do I know this is true? Because I saw it happen. I'm a witness. And therefore I am a witness. Duh. Americans. God, they drive me crazy. Not really. But they certainly befuddle me, because they say stuff that is like totally stupid and totally wrong, and like using words that don't mean what they think they mean, and like equal, like these damn socialists is, I gotta be equal, which means basically that they've fallen victim to the mindbenders and the Neocon Socialist Alliance Collective Agenda, the Matrix, have succeeded in, indoctrinating you and making you a mindless zombie freak. I'm sorry. If you're one of those, I feel bad for you, because, there's no hope for you. You're just going to ever, or forever, till you die, be an idiot, moron, retarded, or denial, or a mindless zombie freak. That's sad. I don't, I'm sorry. I didn't do it. You were born that way, probably. So anyway, I just, it boggles the mind. All right, so let's just move on. Hold on a second. All right, I'm going to put a plug in for myself. Working on a few projects. One of those projects is a book, a picture book. It'll be published and available through, I'm thinking, probably, more than likely, pretty good percentage there on that, like 99% certain that it'll be published and then available to you, the public, on Amazon.com. And that book will be called Nips, capital N-I-P-S, Nips, which is short for nipples, and in this case, human nipples, male and female, by the way. That book is due out after the first of the year. I'm giving myself another extension because I was hoping to have it out by September 1st. And, didn't happen. I'm not done with it yet. I'm still working on it because I want to make it really nice. And then it will be available for purchase on Amazon.com and through other outlets such as me. I will, you want to buy it directly from me, then fine. I'll tell you the details of that when it's published and printed and available. And in the meantime, look forward to it being on Amazon.com and your opportunity to buy it and look at it and say, pretty interesting book, because it's got pictures of nipples in it. Artistic renderings of the human nipple. And it's a picture book, meaning it's not a real person, because people don't live between the covers of a book. Anyway, Nips, look forward. Look forward to it. And when it's out there and available, buy it. I gotta eat, people. You know what? I can't live on like good intentions. I have to have, money of some sort. Gold would be nice. But got bills to pay. Being a maker of books is not cheap. It takes time. Time is money. And the fact that I enjoy my work doesn't change the fact that, I did a job. I exercised my freedom, and I produced a picture book. It's in process, not yet, but it will be. And it's there, and it's not something you don't have to buy it, but I suggest you buy it because you won't regret it, I wouldn't think. Why would you? It's a picture book. It's got my name on it. Duh. Oh, yeah. Don't accuse me of being a narcissist. And if I am a narcissist, big deal. Because, it's not a crime. It might not be, nice. Like Donald Trump might be like a asshole, but, doesn't necessarily mean, being a narcissist, not a crime. Being an asshole is not a crime. If you do something that's a crime, then you've committed a crime, and you're a criminal. But, like Hillary, but not Donald, because I don't know that he committed a crime. No evidence, none whatsoever. And so he talks dirty, and he says, things that are like, I grabbed a pussy, and things like that. Oh, so, it's not a crime. Well, grabbing a pussy is, but saying it is not a crime. All right. I'm out of time for this segment, and just look forward to the book. The book is named Nips, N-I-P-S, and it should be available on Amazon.com at a reasonable price, probably. Okay. Catch you next time.